believe this probably won Nick Diaz the round. Will it be enough? Great fight. Whoever wins this fight, it was an excellent fight.
Whoever wins the fight.
Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz wait for the judges to render their decision. Know your brother name. UFC CEO Lorenzo Fertitta. Talking to Nick Diaz.
Fucking man. Nick Beasley.
Libby Condit and St-Pierre.
Number one Nick Diaz fan.
And St-Pierre.
Watching Nick Diaz fight, huh? You already know what it is.
Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision.
What up, George?
The judges scored this contest 48-47, 49-46, and 49-46. For the winner, by unanimous decision, and now, the interim UFC welterweight champion of the world, the natural born killer, Carlos Condit.
What the? Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking ridiculous. Oh man, that's all fuzzy. Damn it, didn't mean to do it like that. Who are you? Oh, I know who y'all niggas is. After watching the Nick Diaz Carlos Condit fight for the 209th time, I still cannot wrap around my head how in the fuck the judges gave the fight to Carlos Condit. These niggas is crazy. It's a reoccurring statement that Nick Diaz fans around the globe, they proclaim simply 1, 2, and 5. As I said in my breakdown video, breaking down the UFC Nick Diaz conspiracy video, and then watching the fight 209 times, you guys watch it back. After rewatching it, you clearly see that Nick Diaz won round 1, round 2, round 3, and round 5. Who the fuck is you judges, nigga? Who are you, Dana White? Who are you, UFC, to what's next for GSP? What's next for George St-Pierre? What's next for that nigga? There's only one fight for you, George. There's only one fight for you, GSP. There's only one fight for you, welterweight champion of the UFC World and Situation Planets. That one fight is not Johnny Big Rig Hendricks. Why will I say this? I say this because nothing against Johnny Hendricks, but at the same time, to the on and off, to the new, to the only fan of UFC fighting MMA fan, they're not gonna really understand why Johnny Hendricks is a #1 contender in the welterweight division. Why? Because they haven't seen much of him. You know what I'm saying? That's the same reason why Weidman isn't fighting Anderson Silva at the time being. They are not going to understand why Johnny Hendricks truthfully has a game to beat a George St-Pierre. Young fellas, the reason why Johnny Hendricks It's not a good fight for the UFC, not a good fight for George St-Pierre because of the fact that people aren't in tune to Johnny Hendricks yet. Okay, boom, he knocked out Martin Kampmann. I looked at that as a good fight for Nick Diaz because people are already wanting this Nick Diaz fight. Give Nick Diaz the Kampmann fight. If that bullshit never happened, it would have been an exciting stand-up fight where Nick Diaz would have picked him apart and he would have done exactly what he normally does to everyone that is willing to stand up with Nick Diaz. In this fight, boom, he's knocked out. It is what it is. Kampmann, he has a small chin, he has a small face. Boom, it's a proven fact. Like people with chiseled small faces, like boom, they get tapped, they're going to sleep, my nigga. The UFC, they did a poll after the whole situation went down. Who do you want, fans? Vote. Hashtag GSP versus Diaz. GSP versus Hendricks. GSP versus Anderson Silva. Which brings me to my next point. Anderson Silva. Yes, Anderson Silva wants to fight. 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 But at the same time, why wouldn't Anderson Silva want to fight? He's already said that he's nearing the end of his career. Everyone looks at George St-Pierre as one of the best pound for pound of all time. I look at George St-Pierre as the best welterweight in the UFC's time that actually got to fight George St-Pierre. That doesn't make too much sense in what I'm saying, right? But it does, because George St-Pierre is George St-Pierre. He lost to the Matt Hughes. He came back and beat the greatest welterweight fighter of all time in Matt Hughes. He beat a BJ Penn. Now, Condit's under the belt after Nick Diaz already beat Condit, but you know how that motherfucking went. An Anderson Silva George St-Pierre fight makes as much sense as a legacy wrestling super fight of Hulk Hogan versus Rey Mysterio Jr. However, it would happen in wrestling because they're two weight classes. That's like me. I stand 6 foot tall. I walk it around at say 175, a little bit less than 175, normally like 170. What does it fucking matter? I stand around at that. That's like me trying to fucking pick on a fucking 135 pound fucking, it's crazy. It's like when you take Michael Jordan at his level and then have Michael Jordan play a one-on-one game against a high school version of the next Michael Jordan, he's not going to be as strong as Michael Jordan. He's not going to be, truthfully, as fundamentally skilled as Michael Jordan, even though he's fundamentally skilled on the same level as Michael Jordan for his age and for his weight and for his size. He's not going to fucking outmuscle Michael Jordan. This fight does not matter, you fucking idiot motherfuckers. And it's crazy because doing all these fucking things, it's like all this promos and specials and post-fight everything. They're having every fucking still signed to the UFC fighter saying, hey, who do you have in this fight if it happens?
George St-Pierre is so much better in taking people down.
Yep.
What do you give the edge in this matchup?
You know, for me personally, in a matchup between George St-Pierre and Silva, you kind of got to go both ways. It just depends on who sticks to the game plan.
This nigga,
you know, GSP knows he's got to get the takedown, ride out Anderson Silva, follow the hips. It could be a very similar fight to Carlos Condit. The big question is Anderson Silva bigger and strong enough to move GSP's base and be able to get him off balance and get back to his feet?
The key is, if he gets a takedown,
Anderson Silva needs
to
to keep the fight standing.
Well, we did the welterweight roundtable recently, and George said back then Anderson may be a little bit too big. Now he's changed his tune, but how does Anderson use that size?
Every Zuffa employee is trying to fucking rally GSP to make this bullshit ass fucking super fight.
And he's so
No
good
fucking
at going
fan
backwards.
wants to
He's
see
a guy,
that.
if George St-Pierre pressures him, He can knock you out.
Nobody wants to see that.
What he's done very, very well is up
Anderson
against the cage,
Silva will
is
fucking
stop those
demolish George
takedowns and be
St-Pierre.
dangerous
It
there.
wouldn't even be a fucking fight.
George can absolutely take him down. But the
If
biggest
George
thing
is
for
a real
Anderson
man,
Silva
he's
is
gonna
countering
fight the
that
next
jab. If he can
motherfucker
figure out
that's
a way
been
to take
talking
away
shit
George
at
St-Pierre's jab,
170.
he can kind of take
That
away his
took
offense
no
and all his
damage
steps
from
to his
Carlos
takedowns.
Condit
George
that
St-Pierre set up
truthfully
all-
won
sets up
that
all his
fight.
takedowns with the jab and feints.
He
If
needs to
Anderson
fight
can
Nick
figure out how to
Diaz.
counter that
Listen to
jab,
this shit.
he can take away GSP's momentum and rhythm and then take away his ground game.
All right, guys, I now want to send it back to Montreal.
So
The press conference, it is going
on.
underway right now. Hopefully, we get a glimpse of GSP.
So if
talk about the criticism,
Anderson can learn to, you know, counter and time that George St-Pierre jab and where he's going to be during the fight standing up, then maybe he'll have a chance, nigga.
Il faut donner crédit à Carlos Condit. Je me bats pas contre n'importe qui. Je me bats
It's,
contre le
it's
meilleur au
making
monde.
it as if a George St-Pierre stand-up is something that Anderson Silva would even have to worry about. His reach would automatically... He's like, this shit's funny as fuck. But anyway, back to the fucking video. Zoom boom. Beer drink, shut up. And even the polls went to where, oh no, more fans voted for that. Guess what was a close second? Not close second. Guess what was second? Not Hendricks. Nick the fuck Diaz. Now we're having a lot of fighters saying that George St-Pierre, they have George St-Pierre edging out the win against Anderson Silva. Why? Because he's an underdog possibly? Do you want to see that fight? Do you see what Anderson Silva does when he moves up in weight to fucking heavyweight? When he fights at 185 to everyone that he's demolished? Do you see what he does to these people? Do you see that George St-Pierre, I know he just came off of an injury in ring rust. Like, he got wobbled, he got beaten, he got battered. But it was a great fight, and he won the fight convincingly. He won the fight 4 rounds to 1 round. That kind of reminds me of something, of some fight. Nick Diaz won convincingly 4 rounds to 1 round against Carlos Condit. In a fight to where Carlos Condit ran the entire fucking time, and Nick Diaz is stalking him. Even after, I believe, round 3, Nick Diaz is fucking walking him down against the cage, fucking like, not, he just fucking throwing a big fucking shit, boom, hits the cage, and then Condit running away, and then Diaz is still fucking walking him down, like, you fucking pussy. Are you fucking kidding me? The only fight for George St-Pierre right now, if he was a real motherfucking man, he would have called out Nick Diaz. Everyone else, sit down, sit down. He's been out. I've been out. 2013, I'm going to say it once again, beer, drink, shorty. Nick Diaz, we're going to bang. That's what George St-Pierre should have said. He didn't do that. I'm not sure now. I'm not sure, but it's about pop, 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 pop. London broil. Wise up. Facts are facts. George St-Pierre, Nick Diaz wasn't impressed by your performance. Give him a shot. That's the fight all the fans want to see, motherfuckers. That's the fight all the fans, fucking Dudley Ray, big motherfucking Bubba Ray Dudley, rip off the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking calling you out, George St-Pierre. I'm fucking calling you out, George St-Pierre. I'm calling you out, motherfucker. Call out Nick Diaz. I'll fight you on spot, nigga. George St-Pierre, I'll fight you on spot, my nigga. Make the fight, Dana White. Make the fight.